Hi, I'm Leslie Cunningham with FinancialDating.com, and I'm a certified coach, and I specialize in relationship coaching and money coaching. And specifically, I help married women entrepreneurs get on the same page so that they have more money and more love in their relationship. And one of the issues that often comes up for married women entrepreneurs is how to deal with fear and self-doubt when transforming our financial situation. And so I remember actually a very specific incident many years ago when my husband and I had over $40,000 of credit card debt that we had acquired within a 3-year period. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, how are we ever going to get rid of this debt? And I would take my journal and go out into the mountains. We live in Montana. And I would journal about my fear and concerns and then just kind of surrender those fears. And we did get rid of our debt. It was within, I think it was like 2.5 years that we were able to get rid of it. But what I want to leave you with today are a couple of tips for how you can begin to transform your fear and self-doubt. Because if we're feeling fearful and doubtful, then that's going to impact the kind of actions that we're willing to take and the risks that we're willing to take, not only in our finances with our partner, but also in our business as well. So what we want to realize, there's so many things that I could talk about. I want to keep this very simple. So for starters, we want to begin to realize that our situation, the way that we're interpreting it, is not necessarily the truth. So for example, we tend to think, oh my gosh, I have all this debt, or and we're never going to get rid of it. We're going to have it forever. Or my spouse and I aren't getting along. We're never going to get along. Maybe I married the wrong person. Maybe I just can't trust him around money. Those are those kind of stories that we have in our head. And so to begin to shift this, what I want you to ask yourself is, if someone else were in my situation, would they be thinking the exact same thing? Would they be approaching my particular situation the exact same way that I'm approaching it? What would their thoughts be? So somebody else might be in your same situation, and they might look at the debt and say, yes, I have X amount of debt, and I am committed to getting rid of it. I'm going to get rid of it. I have no doubt that I will get rid of it, and I'm going to do everything within my power to change this. Do you see how that's different from the conversation of we're always going to have debt and nothing is ever going to be any different? Or, for example, with arguments with your spouse around money, maybe somebody else could be married to your spouse, and the same things that send you flying off the wall with your spouse would not have the same impact on them. Maybe they wouldn't get angry. They would be able to ignore it because they would realize that it wasn't about them. They would just say, oh, John or whomever is just having a bad day. It's not personal. It's not about me. They're just stressed out. And they're talking about money, and so that's just stressing them out more, but it's not my fault. So they don't get into an argument. So that's what I want to leave you with today, is just to begin to realize that the way that you're interpreting your financial situation is not the ultimate end-all, be-all, end-all truth. It's just an interpretation. So when we can see that, and when we can remember that in the moment, then we can gradually begin to shift that and create different financial results in our life, because we will be inspired to take different action because we're telling ourselves a different story and not believing our story to be the truth. So please visit my website. You can get a lot more financial tips and really great information on how to talk about money with your partner in a calm, productive, peaceful way. FinancialDating.com. I have a free report, 15 financial mistakes couples make and how you can successfully avoid them.